Good Monday morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa giving you a weather update for this week. We are still in kind of what I call the ring of fire, and that is there's a hot dome of air to our south, and the jet stream rides along that, and these disturbances run through. That's also a derecho pattern. Remember what a derecho is. That's a line, a severe line of storms that blows through and lasts a long time. It'll go across a state or two. I think officially it has to track 250 miles and be a certain width to be officially called a derecho. Now, fortunately, right now, it doesn't look like Michigan is in the bullseye of a derecho situation, but we definitely will keep an eye on that as we go into the week. It can change pretty quickly. Now, they did have some pretty massive severe weather out here. Dubuque, Iowa yesterday, 75-mile-an-hour winds. And again, same deal. Storms are developing. These aren't the linear ones that look real severe. And I'll show you on the radar forecast that these are expected to peel southeast again and diminish. So every flow is kind of like this. It's a weird flow. It'll turn southeast. So really, for lower Michigan, you got to watch up here across the UP, and for the UP, you got to watch across northern Minnesota, and those would be the ones that peel down into the area. So a storm prediction center kind of signifies that ring of fire pattern. This is the slight risk today and marginal risk into the western side of the state from Old Benzie County to Grand Rapids. Now that's actually up through this morning. And now this is, let me get the days here. I'm sorry. Let me back up. This is from this morning to Tuesday morning. And I don't expect a whole lot of activity as far as storms for Michigan. I'll show that to you on radar forecast in a moment here. And then this is tomorrow morning to Wednesday morning. And again, that's where the arc of storms. Yes, it is a Johnny Cash song. All right, so here's your radar forecast. And again, today looks fairly quiet across lower Michigan, definitely. The UP, you'll start to get into some showers and thunderstorms. This is early afternoon. Looks pretty good. This is 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. So the UP is starting to get stormy in the evening hours. Lower Peninsula is still pretty good. And then those storms starting to try to drift southward overnight. And you can see what's setting up. And it burns. Yes. I know, May and June flew by, right? Okay, so, but now the zone tomorrow sets up across northern lower Michigan and works its way south. So stormy weather this week, I would say Tuesday into Wednesday morning. I wanted to show you this. Bear with me here, a little geeky. This is the wind speed at about 15,000 feet up. So when we're looking for massive derechos, we're looking for these strong jet cores, 70, 80 miles an hour. And right now, this is tomorrow afternoon. Right now, the upper level winds aren't that strong in Michigan. Doesn't mean it can't make a severe storm, but it's not favorable like something like this would be. And we'll just go along. We'll go into Wednesday, and then we'll go into the 4th. Now, admittedly, we are on the southern edge of this jet stream, that's where the severe weather can happen. Stephen Cruz, how's Friday look? Friday looks pretty good. As we head toward the end of the week and the weekend, we'd get a better chance of drying weather and actually maybe a little bit cooler back into the 70s. Show you that some point early next week, we might actually get into kind of a northwesterly flow for a couple of days and another cool down. These are short-lived cool downs now. Look at these high temperatures, okay? This is today. We'll call it mid-80s, most of lower, and mid to upper 70s across the UP. Tomorrow, we'll call it again, you can see where the clouds and the showers will be most prevalent during the middle of the day. South of that, you could warm up before the showers get there. North of it, the showers could be out of the area. And then we go to Wednesday, and we're back to pretty warm temperatures, some 80s to maybe near 90 degrees. Saturday looks pretty good right now. Oh, Chris Clark, No, we've had, I'll tell you what, Chris Clark, I've been spot on. You must be looking at the wrong weather forecast. You're looking at the phone apps that say rain, 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 and you don't get the real explanation from a human being. Give up the phone app, Chris Clark. Okay, and then we go into Thursday, warm again, 80s. And we go into Friday, warm again, 80s. And everything's kind of pointing toward, as we get toward the weekend, maybe a touch cooler into the lower 80s. So, here's what you have. Today, lower Michigan, I would call it mostly dry. There are a lot of blow-off clouds from the storms over in Wisconsin. It may take until afternoon before those wear off. The cloudiness is going to be kind of variable in this. But as far as rainfall, I think you're going to be probably not having anything happen. Tuesday into Tuesday night, early Wednesday, a line of storms will probably work from the UP across northern lower Michigan down to southern lower Michigan. So that's your wet days. Right now, the 4th looks okay. It looks kind of scattered hit and miss thunderstorms, nothing that's organized. And then as we get toward the weekend, it looks a little bit cooler, drier air coming in, and maybe that brings full-blown sunshine back. But for right now, do not fear rain, 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 except for maybe tomorrow is, at any one spot, maybe your 3 or 4 hours worth of showers and thunderstorms off and on. That would be your wet day, I would say, of the week. There's your forecast. Hey, thanks for joining me here on MLive. We do this every morning. I'll probably do it on the 4th of July, too, if the weather needs to be explained to you. And that's the thing, is we still, I think, need human being meteorologists. All of these apps take the data, which we also take. I won't be lying to you that I would say we take the data too and make a forecast off of that, but we quantify it, So when you see this phone app that has a little thunderstorm with a raindrop, and another thunderstorm with a raindrop, and another thunderstorm with a raindrop, 9 out of 10 of you go, oh, it's going to rain all the time. No, it should be amount of time of rain per day. We could do that. That's in the data. And time of day that the rain, and then also it should be amount. You put those 3 together and weigh it up against the icon rain, icon rain, and it's a much more usable forecast. So I think the human being meteorologist is going to stick around for a while, at least through my retirement, hopefully in about, I'm trying to say 8 years, okay? Maybe I better move it to 7 at some point here. I'm rambling now. But there's your forecast for today. Keep an eye to the sky. Keep an eye to the weather with us here at MLive, because in this kind of pattern, it can change quickly. What can happen is a thunderstorm gets going in Wisconsin. It lays out what we call an outflow boundary. That's a wind flow out of it, and that will silently move into somewhere in Michigan and then erupt into a line of thunderstorms in the afternoon. That's where it gets a little sneaky at this time of the year as to if you can predict what will develop down the line in the afternoon. What apps do I recommend? I really don't know, because I don't use the apps. So I guess I'd have to start playing with them to find out. Okay? I'm just saying they're probably all about the same, because mathematically they take the data, they take the raw grid point data off the models, which we do also, and they put it on there. And that's the easiest way to do it without a human being, without having to pay a human being. So you probably get a lot of the same forecast from all the apps, just because that's the easy way to automate it. Jesse Bamberg says they are different. And that would be another thing on an app, is to say, we are using the GFS model, the US model. We are using, the National Weather Service. The best app probably would take the National Weather Service digitized forecast, because the National Weather Service is human beings that have taken some models and turned it into a real forecast. So I would say if you could find an app that uses what's called the National Digital Forecast Database, that is the Weather Service's humans putting it and digitizing it after they looked at models. I would say that would be the best. I don't know what app uses that. Maybe I'll look into that for you. Hey, maybe I'll build a good app. I don't know. Getting a little old for that probably. Again, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. It's Monday. We had a lot of sun on the weekend out on the water. Everybody stay safe this week. I'll keep you updated on the weather. Today, I think no issues right now. We'll watch for tomorrow.